if the husband is not a good leader?
What if the husband is not a good leader and he's supposed to be a leader? If the husband is not a good leader, just in and of itself, it's still not. It's still very important that the wife supports him in the level of leadership that he's in or that he's on. It would be important for the wife not to usurp his authority or his leadership in the house just because she may have a better idea of how to do things. It's still important for her to run it by him, and in doing so, there's a level of trust and confidence that can kind of come over the man if he seems to be a little less confident in his own leadership. You know, she can do that by the behavior and the conduct that she has, by just throwing and putting things before him for him to make a decision. Even if it's something she's thinking, she can say, what do you think about this? And it's still ultimately his say or his decision, or, you know, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's a loaded question, because one thing it could be, you know, maybe the man lacks leadership skills. And then, you know, he should be around some other men where he can, you know, garner those skills. He can hone those skills because he's walking with a mentor, or he's walking with someone that has the skills that he needs. Or it could be the man or the husband, the father in the home is confident that he's leading, but he's not leading and no one's behind him. And so he's taking a walk by himself. And so in that particular instance, that person also, you know, needs to, you know, walk with a mentor, walk with someone, you know, older than him that has already forged his path, so that he can understand why there's nobody behind him, why no one is listening to him, why, you know, there's always disagreement in the home because of the lack of leadership skills. Maybe he's a good leader, but he doesn't know how to communicate his plan. You know, maybe he's, you know, he has vision, but he doesn't know how to, you know, gather the troops together and put everyone on the same page. So there's different aspects to that question, but still, all in all, you're going to need someone, or have to listen to someone, to humble yourself to receive from somebody else that's been where you're trying to go.
Absolutely. That's good. That's really good.
Well, what if the wife won't listen to the husband?
Ooh. That's a good question as well. What if the wife won't listen to the husband? It could be a couple of different situations. It could be that the wife comes from a background where she had to lead. And so now she's in a situation where she doesn't have to, but doesn't know how to let that go. And so we see that a lot. Or maybe the wife was hurt by a man or by someone and don't want to necessarily listen to all their instructions because of that hurt. And so that can cause a divide, you know, that can cause some friction, you know. Sometimes the wife doesn't want to listen because she doesn't trust where that man or that husband is taking her, or the family. And so that's, you know, where the husband needs to step up and needs to assess where he is as a man and as a husband, as a father, as a leader in the home, you know, and get some help, get some, you know, help with the skills that he's going to need to help lead his wife, so that she can trust him. Maybe the husband is secretive in some things. He won't let his wife look at his phone or look at his laptop. She doesn't have his passcodes. She doesn't have his his passwords to get into his smart devices and his laptops. So there's a level of trust there. You know, there's not a lot of communication. He comes home from work all stressed out and angry from work, and then takes it out on her. So then she's not going to want to listen to that. You know, she'll maybe do her best to kind of appease him, but to totally, you know, trust and totally listen is going to be very difficult, and it's going to cause a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of friction.
Yeah, and I mean, I would always say, just as a therapist myself, get some counseling.
Yeah.
You know, it is absolutely okay for the couple to go to a therapist or a counselor, so that that objective individual that is not family member, that is not someone that you feel like will be biased, can hear the information and help lead the both of you in a path that is more healthy. Because the woman, even if she's not listening, us as a women, we have to still check ourselves. You know, even if our husband doesn't seem to be doing things according to the plan or what have you, we still have to check ourselves. And so that's a conversation. That's talking to each other and not talking at each other. That's not arguing. It's an ongoing conversation, because it's some growth points that has to continue to happen. Both of them are being developed, but if one feels like, you know, the other is being willfully mean or disobedient or disregarding or disrespectful, then you got to deal with those wounds, you know, that pain of all of those experiences too. So a therapist can definitely help. And like Terrence said, you know, maybe a mature couple or mature individual that could help.
Yeah. And not just couples therapy, but individualized therapy as well, because, you know, when you're individuals coming together into a marriage to become one, a lot of times we come with baggage. A lot of times we come with things from the past and our experiences that we bring to the table, and don't really realize that we're carrying it on our backs. We think that we've dealt with it, but then when something comes up to kind of, you know, jug at that hurt or that wound, then it manifests and it comes out and becomes something totally different.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.